Good evening, class, and welcome. Just wanted to give you a kind of an update for the spring semester 2011 on week 4 activities. This week we're going to go over truth, bias, propaganda, and more activities when it comes down to critical thinking about science and technology. I just wanted to kind of review some critical things because we're at an important juncture where this is the last week where you don't necessarily need your textbook, but you will need your textbook beginning week 5. So just in preparation for the week 4 do assignment, I've provided some different URLs and links for you to kind of review at the time. But just heads up, if you don't have your textbook right now, this is the time of the week to invest in it because you're going to need it for your activities for next week. So I've updated the current web page to reflect at the top of the screen your instructional method. You've got your read, your think, your seek, your do, and this week's reflect. As usual, I always want you all to go through week 4, start off with your read. It'll have all the details that you need. Excuse me. Messages from students, all good. As you can see, the overview on truth, bias, and propaganda. For your 4 assignments this week for your think form, I'll assign some various questions to you, or believe it's you first come, first serve. This time you can claim your question, and you'll have up until Wednesday. So your deadline is this Wednesday, the 9th of February, to answer the question. So select a question is enough for everyone, and only one person per question. So if you want a good question, get to it while it's getting good. After that, we're going to actually explore the various forms and types of propaganda. I've given you 10 various areas. I've also pre-assigned those. So when you go into the actual SEEK form, you'll see the pre-assignments, and make sure that you or your partner come up with your own individual definitions for them, and then respond up to at least 3 of your peers in order to come up with some robust and comprehensive answers. The due assignment for this week, we're going to actually start into some of the readings that you're going to find in a textbook. I believe it's issue 2. For this week, we're going to discuss a new topic, something not semi-controversial, but should be a lot of fun to make sure we're working on some of our objectivity, and it will flow really well into the Group Alpha or Group 1's presentation when they get ready to do that next week. The topic or issue for review is, should intelligent design be taught in schools, in public schools specifically? There's 4 key questions that I believe I've outlined for you, and we'll review them briefly and make sure you answer all 4 of the questions. And you can actually do them online, and then we'll have some additional discussion for that. And of course, by the end of the week, probably on Friday, I will open up the reflect area. So after you've finished participating and responding to your various peers, you'll have from Friday or Saturday morning up until Sunday to complete your reflect activities. I also want to pay special note to Group A, both to the hybrid course as well as the online course. I'm expecting to see by the end of the week, no later than Saturday afternoon, the first draft of your presentations for the course that you're going to be instructing next week. So whether you do a PowerPoint, if you do a small video, if you decide to do some type of short semi-academic paper, which would be no more than 5 pages, make sure I see the draft by this Saturday. I'll be able to review it, and then I'll give you video feedback over the weekend so that you can make any last minute changes, and then I'll open up the group area for you to post the papers, and then all of your peers can then be prepared to complete their mini paper for week 6. If you need more details on that, again, I've clearly outlined here in your read instructions. You can either go to week 1, go to the download templates. You can either download the issue article review paper format as well as the group report paper formats if you need more details. So this week's objectives are real key. I want to make sure you're able to summarize some of the key things we're doing. In this case, focusing on propaganda and biasness and truth. Make sure that you're understanding the implications of your actions and the impacts on society for the different topics that we're going to use, and be able to be on the lookout for propaganda. More discussion, some critical thinking terminology, and also have a better understanding of some of the key questions we use for science analysis. And last but not least, begin to clearly be able to assess different articles, particularly with the scientific background. So we'll go more into that a little bit later. You have several readings this week. All of your readings are online. I think I even indicated a select video or 2 for you to also kind of take a look and review, look for your feedback on that. I have 6 required readings for this week. Most of them are focusing on truth, bias, and propaganda and things that are related. But I also want to point out to you, if you want to get a head start, for those that's eager to get ahead, for week 5, you'll need your textbook, of which the readings are not hard. They're just interesting. It may take you once or two once over to try to read it. But that's when we're going to be discussing intelligent design. And that's issue 2 in your textbook. And if you need to have your textbook reminder, here it is right here. Remember, it's the Taking Sides. I'm looking for the 9th edition, expanded edition. So make sure you use that version. And then you can read issue 2 inside here. But in the event you don't necessarily need to have read issue 2, but what I do suggest strongly, if you don't know a lot about intelligent design, it's not quite what you think. I also have an excellent website here that I've recommended some of my actual students found about a semester or two ago on intelligentdesign.org. What it is, kind of read the quick definition of that. That's kind of instrumental to help you with the due assignment for week 4. All right. Quickly reviewing the point structure, no points for your readings. You have a total of 10 points to complete the Think assignment. It is due this Wednesday, February 9th by 11:59 p.m. I'll give you a little grace period, give or take, but you won't have much, so do your best to meet that deadline on Wednesday. Your Seek assignment also worth 10 points, due Wednesday, February 9th, again at 11:59 p.m. Your due assignment, since it's a little bit more involved, such as what you did last week, that is due on Saturday, February the 12th at 11:59 a.m. I want it by noon. And then I'll open up the Reflect, and you'll have until Sunday evening at 11:55 p.m. to complete that. There's 10 points and 5 points respectively for a total of 35 points for this week. This week is somewhat involved between the readings and doing some of the critical analysis and the definitions and response to your peers. So you're going to have about somewhere between 3 to 5 hours approximate to complete both the readings and all the activities and responses. And suggestions for the success: always reread the read section, spend some time doing the readings, read all your directions very carefully. I'm looking for college level answers and responses. And kudos to both groups, the hybrid and the online. You guys have been doing excellent. I've been getting some really solid, comprehensive answers. So very proud of your work, and I believe I've responded to some of your grading accordingly. So good job. For the others, make sure you keep up. Yeah, I know all about it. I've already heard. This is a 100 level course. Whatever, complain to somebody else, okay? I don't want to hear all of that. You're in college. Just prepare before you graduate. And of course, post early and respond often to your peers. And last but not least, always have fun with the activities. They're not hard. Don't overthink them. This is critical thinking and analysis. Last but not least, I want to put a special shout out to Groups 1, both of the alpha groups and both the hybrid and the online courses. Again, finalize your presentation this week. If you give me more time to give feedback, I can give you more feedback, but you're not going to keep sending me back and forth. Send me your best version. Once that's loaded, send me an email note, and I'll be back up and checking out your group and giving you video feedback, of which you'll be able to go to YouTube to download and review the video of which I give you feedback. To play it safe, your submissions I do Saturday, February the 12th for me to review, and then you will be able to, once you get my feedback, you'll be able to post it in the Group 1 project presentation area sometime by the end of next week, week 5, and that's due Saturday, February the 18th. And then the classes will have approximately a week or two to complete their first mini papers. So going back right quick, I wanted to take you up. If you go into the Think assignment for week 4, you see your overview, your time and deadlines, the detailed instructions. Don't forget, I'm looking for approximately 150 to 300 words for your first responses for week 4. Here are your rubrics, so you can make sure that you see what we're looking for exceptional work versus areas where you can use some improvement. So make sure that you read the rubric and respond accordingly. And here are the 20 critical thinking questions. I've already look ahead of time. If I scroll down, oh, look at you all. Here's in the hybrid group. I'm in the hybrid group right now. You all are already responding pretty well. It's about 6 questions already taken. Good. Remember, no repeating of any questions. 1 question per person. Good job. I'm looking forward to doing some reading beginning on Wednesday. I'll start grading your work then. Let's take a look at the Seek assignment. Seek assignment, again, read all of the instructions. The objectives are really to help you all advance your understanding of critical thinking terminology and the application in this particular instance. Here are your instructions. I've identified approximately and assigned 10 definitions for propaganda, and most of you are pretty much tag teaming on this one, since it's 20 students in the online course. In the hybrid course, pretty much broken down the same. Look at your assignments. This is not group work. This is individual work, and everyone respond accordingly. Of course, I say you have to respond to a minimum of 3. However, I suggest strongly, particularly when it comes up to the examinations and review time or application, you take a look at all the definitions and use them accordingly. Put that as part of your repertoire and your tools. Your rubrics, I'm looking for advanced answers, proficient answers, and areas where you can use some improvement. And I see Minnie and Cecilia, you already started ahead of the game. You've started to do some work on those. That's great. Moving on to the week 4 do assignment. Again, the do assignment is pretty cool. This is where it comes into play where you need to look at your issue review papers for your template. If you download again from week 1, you look at the Seek assignment for week 1, you'll see the templates for your article reviews. The part 1 pretty much lists these top 3 questions right here. So for this week, you're going to write a short 100, 200, give or take reflection on addressing the following 4 questions. It's not 3, it's a typo, it's actually 4. So, should intelligent design be taught in public schools? I want you to address the questions. No opinions, address the questions. And if you need to do some research ahead of time, I've given you that link. Why is the issue controversial? Why is the issue important to science and scientists? Why is the issue important to society? And then what is the question that you would want answered in order to help you decide your position on the issue of whether intelligent design should be taught in public schools? So make sure you address all those questions. Here's your rubric. And I see no one started that part yet, but it's still kind of early. That's all good. And then last but not least, I haven't opened up the reflection section yet, so I'll open that up by Friday. You should have a good time with that. Some quick feedback on week 3. You guys did excellent. Very proud of your work. I've responded accordingly, and you were very supportive of your other peers. For those that have not done your work yet, be sure to get your work in. You'll have some points deducted for being a bit late, but like I said, because of the blizzard last week, I know people's internet connectivity was kind of shoddy sometimes. But no more allowances. Take care of your business, and because I don't want you to get behind. FYI for you, just as a reminder, I've noticed that in the group presentation area, several of you are already taking full advantage of the group forum discussion areas, which is excellent. I am a member of all of your groups, so don't forget that I am minding the fort. I'm able to see what you're saying and see the good dialogue. So hopefully you all are taking advantage of this early time. But Group A, you are up. And for everyone next week, if you look at the Group Project 1, what are claims and what are facts, that's what the presentations are for the first group that I'm looking for you to take care of. And the results will be posted here at the time during week 5, and then that's when you can have week 5 and 6 to complete your mini papers. That's it, everyone. Have a wonderful and productive week. I'll see you real soon. And if you have any questions, be sure to email me online. Take care.